Hi everyone, I am Mr. Mahmoud. This video is for grade 7, unit 8, the amazing world around us, lessons 1 and 2. Let's start with the key vocabulary: amazing, bank, bridge, city, country, cross, crust, kilometer, link, linked, meter, pyramid, tower, tunnel. Question words for measurements: how deep, how high, how long, how many, how old, how wide. Words used with numbers: about, 100, just under, million, more than, thousand. Adjectives: big, crowded, easy, empty, far from, high, low, modern, narrow, near, noisy, old, quiet, tall, wide. Some additional vocabulary: building, daily, facts, guess, guessed, measure, measured, measurement, correctly, countryside, dictionary, dictionary, finally, first, half, population, the Brazilians, tourist, traffic, visitor. Some places like Mount Everest, Mount Kilimanjaro, the Kasri Nil Bridge, the 6th of October Bridge, the Ilhamra Tower, the Amazon, the Nile River, the Pyramids of Giza, the Red Pyramid, the Shanghai Tower. Countries and cities like Bangkok, Brasilia, Brazil, China, Kuwait, Thailand. Language expressions: do a quiz, get the answers correct. Prepositions: around, compare with, examples of, go over, go under, on page, under the ground, at Giza, away from, crowded with, easy for, the capital of, the center of. Words and opposites: important, unimportant, interesting, boring, open, close, here, there. Conjugations of irregular verbs: build, built, built, become, became, become, know, knew, known, think, thought, thought. Language notes: feel plus adjective. Adam felt nervous before he started his new school. 100,000 million. I have 500 pounds. Note see that we used the word 100 in the singular form. Measurements: how plus adjective. How old are you? I'm 12 years old. How long is the River Nile? It's 6,650 kilometers long. Make plus object plus adjective or plus infinitive. This story made us happy. I made Amal come early. We use the with the places that we find just one of them. For example, the Shanghai Tower, the Red Pyramid. How to say numbers. For example, the first one, 435,000. The second one, 37 million. The third one, 37,435,191. When we do not want to give an exact number, we can also say more than, just under, about. For example, the first one, more than 190. The second one, just under 180. The third one, about 2,000. Choose the correct answer from A, B, C, or D. 10 space people watched the match at the stadium. 10,000 in the singular form. How space is the Eiffel Tower? How high is the Eiffel Tower? My mother bought me a present which space me very happy. My mother bought me a present which made me very happy. How to write a paragraph about the Cairo Tower? Egypt has many amazing places. You can visit some of these places in Cairo, like the Cairo Tower and the Egyptian Museum. The Cairo Tower is one of the most famous buildings in Egypt. It took 5 years to build. It opened in 1961. It is 187 meters tall and stands next to the Nile. There is a restaurant at the top. It moves so you can see all of the city below. There are 24 windows on each floor of the building. If you want to climb to the top, there are 2,500 stairs. At night, the colors on the tower change. It is a wonderful building. Listen and check your answers. How long is the Cairo-Alexandria Desert Road? It's 220 kilometers long. How deep is Lake Baikal in Russia? It's 1,642 meters deep. How high is Abraj El Beit clock tower in Saudi Arabia? It's 601 meters high. How old is the Luxor Temple? It's just under 3,500 years old. How many people live in Cairo? More than 20 million people. Listen and check your answers. How much do you know about pyramids? Let's compare two pyramids in Egypt. The Great Pyramid of Giza is 146 meters tall. It's taller than the Red Pyramid, which is 105 meters tall. But the Red Pyramid is further away from the center of Cairo, so it's less crowded with visitors. Because it's less crowded, it's also quieter. Now let's compare two very tall buildings. The Shanghai Tower in China is 632 meters tall. The tower first opened in 2015. The El Hamra Tower in Kuwait is 412.6 meters tall. The building first opened in 2011, so the Shanghai Tower is taller and more modern than the El Hamra Tower in Kuwait. Finally, we're going to compare two capital cities. Bangkok became the capital of Thailand about 600 years ago, so it's much older than Brasilia. Brasilia is a modern city. The Brazilians built it in 1960. More people live in Bangkok than Brasilia. The population of Bangkok is more than 10 million. The population of Brasilia is about 4.5 million. So, how did you do? Did you get the answers correct? Choose a correct answer from A, B, C, or D. The tower is 146 meters high. Space, then 37,500,000 people live in Paris. More than. We need to buy some more water. This bottle is empty. Be careful you don't hit your head on the door. It's very low. Only people and bikes can go down that road because it's very narrow. In our village, we use a space to cross over the lake. In our village, we use a bridge. The village is on the east space of the river. The village is on the east bank of the river. Cairo Metro goes through a long space under the Nile tunnel. The most important city in a country is its capital. Big cities are always crowded with many cars. The space of Egypt is about 100 million. The population. The teacher asked us to do a quiz. A. How space is the Nile after Aswan? B. It's 2,500 meters. How long? The space is very slow. You're going to be late. The traffic is very slow. And the grammar of today is about comparative adjectives. Why do we use comparative adjectives? We use comparative adjectives to compare two things, people, or places. How can we form them? We use a short adjective plus er plus than. For example, Mount Everest is higher than Mount Kilimanjaro. The Nile is longer than the Amazon. Add or to the adjective that ends with e. For example, large, larger than. If the adjective ends with y preceded by a consonant, change it to ier. Noisy, noisier than. If the adjective ends with a consonant preceded by a vowel, double it, then add er. For example, hot, hotter than. We use more or less plus long adjective plus than. For example, Cairo is more crowded than Aswan. A dog is less dangerous than a lion. We have some common exceptions, like good, better. I am better than Ali at maths. Bad, worse. Today's weather is worse than yesterday's. Far, farther. Which pyramid is farther from the center of Cairo? We use which with comparative adjectives as this rule. Which is adjective plus er or more or less plus adjective. Then we use two choices here in the spaces and we put or between them. Which is easier, English or maths? Which is less interesting, football or squash? And now time for practice. Choose a correct answer from A, B, C, or D. Ice skating is space skiing. Ice skating is safer than skiing. Tennis is less dangerous than football. Which building is more modern? Which bridge is the 6th of October Bridge or the Qasr Nil Bridge? Which bridge is longer? My sister is 2 years younger than me. English is space for me than Chinese. English is easier for me than Chinese. Which country is larger, Egypt or China? Iman is space at English than Samira. Iman is better. This is boring. Let's do something more interesting. Read and correct the underlined words. The blue car is nice than the black car. The blue car is nicer. That mountain was more high than we thought. That mountain was higher. The museum is usually crowded on a Saturday than a Sunday. The museum is usually more crowded. The weather this summer is even bad than last summer. The weather this summer is even worse. This room is quite small. I want a big one. I want a bigger one. Ask and answer about measurements. How long is the Cairo-Alexandria Desert Road? It is 220 kilometers long. How deep is Lake Baikal? It is 1,642 meters long. How old is the Luxor Temple? It's just under 3,500 years old. How many people live in Cairo? More than 20 million people live in Cairo. How wide is the Tahya Masr Bridge? It's about 67.36 meters wide. Complete the following dialogue. Hello, Ahmed. Where did you go last holiday? I visited the Cairo Tower. I learned much information about it. Where is the Cairo Tower? The Cairo Tower is next to the Nile. How tall is it? I think it's about 187 meters tall. How old is it? It's more than 59 years old. How many floors are there in the Cairo Tower? There are 16 floors. There is a restaurant on the 14th floor. Another dialogue. What do you think of living in a big city? I like it more than living in the countryside. Oh, really? Why? Well, because it is more interesting out in the city than it is in the countryside. Yes, but the city is more dangerous than the countryside. That's true. People in the city aren't very friendly. Which is busier, the city or the countryside? The city is busier than the countryside, but the countryside is slower than the city. I think that's a good thing. Oh, I don't know. The countryside is much more boring than the city. And now we come to the end of our video today. Thanks for watching. See you next video and goodbye.